We have a lot of videos on how to refine your leads and generate higher quality leads and therefore more clients. But we realize that a lot of you watching need help generating website traffic first in order to get to the point where you're consistently collecting leads and refining the quality. So in this video, I want to show you the exact steps that we take to drive website traffic for small businesses. And in case you don't know, I'm Brandy with Life Marketing, the digital marketing agency with a mission to help small businesses grow. We've driven $304 million in revenue for our clients using Facebook and Google ads alone. So we know a thing or two about driving not just traffic, but traffic that converts. Take this health coach, for example. In April of 2022, they were seeing about 861 link clicks from their ads. Then fast forward to March of 2025, after working with us for a few years, and they're seeing over 24,000 link clicks. And link clicks means specifically clicks to their website, not just any and all clicks on the ad itself. But most importantly, those clicks ultimately converted into over 10,000 leads and 23,000 purchases made for our client. So if you're ready to start seeing real results and real growth for your business, let's get into these steps. The first thing we're going to do is make sure your ad account is set up properly, because in the world of Facebook, data is money. If you're not tracking things properly, you're losing money and you're going in blind. Because how can you make an informed decision if you don't have the facts of what's working and what's not? You can't. So the first thing you need to do is make sure your metapixel is installed and working correctly. Your metapixel, formerly called your Facebook pixel, but it's the same thing, is the little piece of code that should be installed on your website. Each Facebook ad account has its own designated metapixel ID, and that ID or code needs to be installed on your website so that Facebook can track any and all activity across all of your website pages. So before you do anything else, you'll need to grab the metapixel from your specific ad account and install it on your website. The instructions for this will look different depending on what kind of website you have, like if it's built on WordPress or Shopify or Wix or what have you. But if you just Google how to install the metapixel on my website, Facebook has a step-by-step article out there for you to follow that I will put a link for on screen as well. And then once you have that set up, you can install the Metapixel Helper Chrome extension so that you can double check to make sure the pixel is working and firing correctly on your website. I know that might seem vague or super high tech for some of you, but I promise you can do it. And that Facebook support article will walk you through everything you need step by step. So that article should help make it easy, but just know that you have to get that set up before you do anything else that we talk about in this video. Once that's installed, you want to make sure you're doing two other things correctly in your ad account: selecting the right campaign objective and optimizing your pixel for your end goal. These are the 6 campaigns you can choose from when setting up a Facebook ad. A lot of business owners make the mistake of selecting the traffic or engagement campaign because they're the easiest to set up. But you've already got your metapixel installed now, so it's time to start driving real high quality traffic. See, selecting a Facebook campaign is not arbitrary. It matters because Facebook pays attention to the campaign goals when deciding who to deliver the ad to. Let's say you tell Facebook, hey, I want to show my ad to women in this zip code with these 3 interests, and you run it as an engagement campaign. Then you run an ad to the same exact audience in a sales campaign. The difference in each campaign is that in the engagement campaign, Facebook is going to show the ad to people within the selected audience who are most likely to engage. If you get 500 likes and 0 sales or leads in an engagement campaign, Facebook is going to call that a win because it's optimizing for engagement. Whereas in the sales campaign, Facebook is going to show the ad to people within the selected audience who are most likely to convert. And if you get 0 likes and 50 sales or website leads from a sales campaign, Facebook is going to call that a win because that's what it's optimizing for, or what it's looking for. It's looking for people who are going to complete the campaign goal. That's why using the traffic campaign is still the wrong move, because even with the traffic campaign, Facebook is going to show the ad to people within the selected audience who are most likely to click, not convert. So even though your initial goal might be traffic, you still want high quality traffic that's going to eventually convert, and therefore you want to select the sales campaign. From there, the last thing we need to pay attention to in the setup of your ad is the conversion event. In addition to the campaign selection, Facebook also pays attention to the conversion event in the ad set level to make a decision on who to deliver the ad to within your selected target audience. If you're a service-based business, when it comes to maximizing the quality of leads you're getting from Facebook and the number of people who actually show up for the appointments, you want to optimize your conversion event for appointments instead of just leads. This allows the algorithm to show your ads to people who are likely to be qualified and book, as opposed to people who are just likely to fill out your lead form and nothing more. Or if you're in e-commerce, you want to optimize for high value product sales instead of low value product sales or just website traffic. So here's how to set that up. You'll go to your Facebook Ads Manager and click on Events Manager. custom conversions, and then create custom conversion. You'll want to name it something you'll recognize, like booked appointments, for example. Make sure you have the right pixel selected, the one that's installed on your website and landing pages. Choose all URL traffic as your event, and then put in the URL of the thank you page people land on once they've scheduled an appointment or bought a high-value product. You can either do URL contains or URL equals. If you do equals, it needs to be the exact URL, then hit create. Then when you're setting up your ad in the ad set level, make sure the same website pixel is selected and choose that custom conversion you just made as your custom conversion event. Again, this allows Facebook's algorithm to do some of the heavy lifting for you in finding people within your target audience who are most likely to complete your end goal action, like book a call with you or sign a proposal, and not just fill out your lead form. Doing all of this will help you not only generate website traffic, but promising website traffic that is likely to convert. The second thing we want to do is target the right audiences and segment them appropriately. This is huge because if you're targeting the wrong audience, it doesn't matter if you have the best ad in the world, they're not going to convert. It's like trying to sell cat food to dog owners. You can give discounts, you can talk about how awesome your cat food is, how it'll increase the longevity of your cat's life and health, but it doesn't matter if the people seeing the ad don't own cats. So on that note, I'm going to share 3 mistakes most business owners make with the targeting when they set up a Facebook ad. Number 1, they target super small, niche down audiences that have a ton of interest in behaviors and demographics in the targeting. Number 2, they're not using a lookalike audience. And number 3, they're either not retargeting at all or they're doing mass retargeting, aka retargeting everyone in the same audience. So let's get into what you need to do instead, starting with mistake number 1. Instead of targeting a super small, narrowed down audience, you want to target a broad audience. You're looking for an audience size of 25,000 people or more for local campaigns and an audience size of millions of people for national campaigns. If you are still running Facebook ads by targeting with a ton of different interest demographics and behaviors, you're wasting ad dollars on an advertising strategy that no longer works. That might be news to some of you because for a long time, the general Facebook ad strategy that everyone followed was to niche down and hone in on your target audience with a lot of interest and behaviors entered into the ad set, because that used to be what worked for a long time. But the reality now is that algorithms are smart enough to read your ad copy, images, and URLs and find the audience that's most likely to convert based on those things. You're actually hindering the ad algorithm's ability to do that by giving super strict constraints in the targeting. So when you're setting up the ad set level of your ad and you're telling Facebook who to show your ad to, you want to go one of 2 routes. The first route is to solely include demographic details like gender, location, and age, because these are targeting options that you can be 99% sure of. For example, if you have a female-centric salon in Phoenix, Arizona, then you can be 99% sure that your audience will be female and live within a certain mile radius of your salon. So those will be the only 2 targeting options you need to use, gender and location. The second route is to target a lookalike audience. Like I said, mistake number 2 a lot of business owners make is not targeting a lookalike audience. So what is it exactly? A lookalike audience is a group of new people who have never heard of your brand before that Facebook finds who look like your existing customers, making them the most profitable cold audience you can target because they have the same makeup and buying patterns as your existing clients do. If you have more than 1,000 clients or customers, then we'd recommend you start with a lookalike audience. All you have to do is upload your customer list as a custom audience in Ads Manager, then choose that audience as the source audience to create a lookalike audience out of. Just make sure your source customer list has about 1,000 customers on it or more, and that you choose the top 1% when creating the lookalike audience. Both of those things will make sure Facebook has a big enough pool of people to analyze, and that the new audience it finds for you resembles your customer base as closely as possible. Now, it's important that the source list be your actual customers and clients, not just your general email subscribers. Sometimes business owners combine all of the email addresses they have to try and reach that 1,000 contact threshold, but what do you want more of? Email subscribers or paying clients? Paying clients, right? So then your source audience that the lookalike audience is mirroring needs to be your paying clients. Making a lookalike audience out of anything other than your customers will actually hurt your results. We do this for every client that has a sizable enough customer list available to take advantage of because it works. Whether you're a service business making a lookalike audience out of your clients or an e-commerce store making a lookalike audience out of your customers, it's one of the easiest ways to drive high quality traffic quickly. And remember, if you don't have 1,000 customers yet to make a lookalike audience, use demographic targeting like we talked about in option 1 until you do. And then the last mistake we said business owners make is either failing to retarget correctly or at all. Retargeting Retargeting is when you show an ad to someone who has already interacted with your business in some way. You want to deliver ads to a retargeting audience because on average, it takes a person 7 interactions with a brand before they feel confident enough to buy from that brand. Unless you sell something that is more of an impulse buy, you're likely not going to get a sale after someone sees your ad just one time. They need to have multiple interactions with your brand so that they start to trust you and think of your brand as the best solution to their problem. So maybe you retarget your website visitors or your Instagram engagement or Reels views or email subscribers. The mistake most business owners make is they do generalized retargeting. They show the same ad to everyone in their retargeting audience, but the problem with that is someone who has clicked to your product page or filled out your lead form is further along in your sales funnel than someone who just viewed a reel on your Instagram. And therefore, they should receive different ads. So to help show you how to segment your retargeting audience into different groups, I'll give you a glimpse at part of the sales funnel that we're using for our clients right now. We direct people to a landing page promising a lead magnet. We then deliver that lead magnet and prompt the lead to fill out a survey or application to better qualify them. And only the qualified leads make it to the calendar page from there, which prompts them to schedule a call. Because side note, you're spending money you don't need to be spending if you're retargeting unqualified leads. Or if you're just giving a mass CTA to your whole retargeting audience saying, hey, buy this. Your retargeting audience should be segmented and given specific CTAs or call to actions based on where they're at in your funnel. So people who have not clicked to your website yet should be retargeted with the CTA to download your lead magnet. People who have opted into your lead magnet but have not yet filled out your application should be retargeted with the CTA to fill that out. People who have filled out the application but not yet scheduled a call should be retargeted and directed back to your calendar page with a CTA to schedule a free strategy session. And even if you're in e-commerce, your sales funnel probably has fewer steps than this, but the same principle still applies. You're gonna not only lower your Facebook ad costs drastically if you run segmented retargeting as opposed to generalized retargeting, but you're also gonna drive a lot more traffic. And you're setting up your customers to buy the maximum dollar amount possible by qualifying them along the way. Now, the last step to increase traffic is to create what we call C.O.A, customer-oriented ads. A lot of business owners make the mistake of running ads that are all about them and not their customers. Business-oriented ads sound like this. We're an award-winning company. We have the best of the best team members. We have the latest technology. We're running a sale, and so on. Customer-oriented ads sound like this. You can accomplish XYZ faster, better, easier, or for less using our product or our service. Let's look at an example. Our dishwashers are the best. They come with the new Cleaner Turbo 3000 versus you don't have to pre-scrub dishes in the sink anymore with our new dishwasher. Which do you think would grab a customer's attention more? The second one, right? Why? Because you're directly addressing a pain point that they're currently struggling with. If they hear you make one of their annoyances or frustrations or problems disappear, their ears are going to stand to attention. Instead of focusing on all the bells and whistles of your product or service, focus on the benefits that your customers experience from using your product or service, or the pain points and frustrations that they can now avoid with your product or service. I'm telling you, from the thousands of ad accounts we've managed, fixing this alone will make a world of difference in your ad results and therefore your website traffic.